Whether you're a young slave boy in a Naboo starfighter, an emotionally unstable fanboy of that slave, or an Imperial allied Mandalorian, spinning is always a good trick. The Fang Fighter, also known as the Protectorate fighter, is a very unique starfighter designed and used exclusively by the Mandalorian Protectors. The Protectors were an ancient group of royal guards for the ruler of the Mandalorians, who was known by the title of Mandalore. With the weakened state of Mandalore after the events of the Clone Wars, many of these noble warriors took a knee and dedicated their service to the Empire. As Imperial allies, the Protectorate was allowed to use Mandel motors to openly produce these ships, whereas other Mandalorian craft like these that we have covered in other videos were produced partially in secret and sold to criminals and rebels on the side. Being legal, they could continue the production of this Clone Wars era veteran ship. Mandel Motors, in conjunction with the Celestin company Surosub, were able to create this starfighter at a final production cost of 185,000 credits, making it more expensive than an X-Wing and greater than 3 times the cost of the TIE Fighter. But those credits got you one of the most aggressive and nimble ships in the galaxy. Its top atmospheric speed of 900 km per hour, or 559 miles per hour, is a little slower than average, but its ability to rotate its wings is incredibly useful. Most starfighters have laser cannons in a fixed location, meaning the pilot has to move their whole ship to line up shots. You could just have the laser cannons move independently of the wing, but even that wouldn't give you the inescapable circle of death that is created by getting these wings to spin around the cockpit. With the Fang Fighter, you simply have to line up the enemy in front of you, then fire your 2 wing-mounted light laser cannons while spinning, and your target is trapped. They can't move up, down, left, or right. You, however, can just turn the Fang Fighter to any direction, causing the wall of plasma to smash into them. Or if you want to just use this laser fire cone to hold them in position, you could fire your ventrally located hidden proton torpedo. The mobility of these wings was also a crucial aspect in making it so agile. By moving its wings from horizontal to vertical, it could pass right through the formations of enemy starfighters. This ability to keep the cockpit stationary at the center while spinning the wings around you is incredibly difficult for the pilot, something that many Rebel pilots complained about with the B-Wing. But in the right hands, it was incredibly useful on both offense and when trying to evade through difficult terrain or through space debris. Then consider the fact that its overall profile was very small. Its official stats say it's only 6 meters long, or about 20 feet, but I'd say it looks closer to the length of an X-Wing, which is 12.5 meters or 41 feet. An A-Wing is 9.6 meters long in both canon and Legends, so I don't see how the Fang Fighter is smaller than that. In their defense, perhaps they were just measuring the body. But no matter what, it can essentially modify its profile by changing the wing positions, and the overall height of this ship is ridiculously small. That, I would agree, is about the same as an A-Wing. In this clip, you can see that even with its landing gear down, this starfighter is shorter than a Mandalorian, and just barely taller than a Gonk droid. So it has a deadly cone of laser fire, a small and adjustable profile, and is also very maneuverable due to the fact that these 2 ion engine arrays are on those adjustable wings. Change the position of the wing, and you change the direction of the thrust by outputting more to one side versus the other, so that you can make remarkably quick turns in any direction. The Fang Fighter also has a Class 2 hyperdrive, more than adequate for quickly jumping in and out of hyperspace for hit-and-run missions. Combine all of these abilities with the fact that each of the Mandalorian Protector Fang pilots were trained by the infamous Fen Rao, and you can see why it was so easy for them to destroy an entire unit of Rebel A-Wings. With all these features, it's no wonder that it was used from the time of the Clone Wars, then as Imperial allies, and some later would be used by the Rebel Alliance. That's it for its history, but you definitely want to hear these cool facts and behind-the-scenes stuff. It was first introduced on January 26, 2016 on the same day in the comic Kanan 10 First Blood, and the Rebels TV show episode The Protector of Concord Dawn. Later details would be added via the Star Wars X-Wings miniature game and the Star Wars Commander video game. So that's it for the Fang Fighter. Let me know if you guys think this ship has a great design, or is just silly, in the comments down below. If you want to connect with us, get your own copies of the reference materials used to make this video, or support the channel over on Patreon, be sure to check out the links in the description. Special shout out to our supporters over on Patreon, but most important of all, remember, spinning is an essential space combat tactic, and the Force will be with you, always.